I do have a question here I wanted to wrap on. This got a lot of attention about flying on Epstein's plane twice. You clarified that was at a point in which you've since said you believe that he was trying to curry favor with your family. So do you?
I don't remember saying that.
I saw it on your Twitter. So you followed up and said it's possible that he was trying
to... that on my...
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know. I mean, I can tell you exactly what my relationship was.
And we responded to that on our show as well. He posted a pretty lengthy tweet under a video that was being shared of him on Sean Hannity admitting to flying on Epstein's jet, where he said, in retrospect, I think Epstein was probably trying to curry favor with my family, yada, yada, yada. Excuses.
Or bones. We talked about that.
Yeah, exactly. But here he's like, I didn't say that. What? You saw that on Twitter? So he's basically admitting that he doesn't write his own tweets, or I guess maybe he doesn't remember writing that one. It seems weird. I feel like he probably would remember.
There's no way that he writes them after this. It's revealed now. There's no way. Maybe he writes a handful of them. He did not write that one.
Right.
Which I think is interesting given the fact that it's about such a specific subject matter. He was like, because he also talks about how he was on the plane with his family, like he was with his wife and his children, like a very specific cover.
Jeffrey Epstein. I flew my wife, Mary Richardson, knew his girlfriend. I didn't know whether I thought it was his wife at the time, but Ghislaine Maxwell.
Yeah.
And she got a ride. Ghislaine offered her a ride for our family to go to Palm Beach, where I wanted to visit my mother over Easter.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I flew down with Mary and my two.
And they offered me a ride like you're some fucking hitchhiker on the side of the road, unable to get to Palm Beach on your own. Like, you're a Kennedy, bro. Don't tell me that you needed a ride from Ghislaine Maxwell to visit your family in Palm Beach. It was the only way we were going to reunite with them for Thanksgiving. Of course, we had to take the offer.
I think it's Easter, but yeah.
Or Easter, yeah.
Kids, with the two oldest kids. Mary was pregnant with Connor at the time, and then another time, that was in 1993. So nobody knew about Jeffrey Epstein's nefarious activities. The first hint the public was 2006.
Yes.
The public, yeah, he says the public didn't know, but guess what? Apparently, lots of people in private did. Everyone that was actually hanging out with this motherfucker absolutely knew what was going on. It was a huge, I guess, open secret. Secret would be the right word.
People didn't know about Weinstein. Of course they knew about Weinstein. I knew about Harvey Weinstein because it was in a bunch of fucking literature that this guy was like a fucking creepy guy that was the casting couch kind of stereotype.
Yep.
After his conviction. Right.
Yeah. So so nobody knew about it. He was just another, wealthy guy in New York. And then I flew again sometime, maybe, probably about 1995 or 1996.
Uh-huh.
I flew to South Dakota again with all my kids and Mary to do a fossil hunting trip with them. Now, I probably ran into Epstein at fundraisers and stuff, but I didn't know him socially. He was not my friend.
Okay. My question is about I guess, I don't know if your staff put it out, but one of the things you'd surmise was about him currying favor. And there's been quite a few questions about whether he was a foreign intelligence asset, either for Israel, for the United States. Is that something what do you think about that?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I've read that he was, an agent for Mossad.
Yeah.
I don't know, I really haven't followed him that much. My kids.
It's funny how this guy is the number one conspiracy theorist in the world, but when it comes to Epstein, he's like, yeah, I never really dug into that one. I hear some crazy things. I hear he might be connected to the Mossad, Israel, who knows? But I never really did a deep dive myself. I was too focused on every other conspiracy that exists. Kind of fishy.
One of my kids follows him and said to me, that it's highly likely that he was murdered. But I wouldn't want to, I don't want to get involved in another conspiracy theory. I know
well, you declassify the Epstein files.
There we go.
You declassify the Epstein.
Oh, I think everything. Yeah. Look, everybody in his black books should be, we should know those names.
Okay.
We should know, declassify everything, subpoena everything, lay it out because, he was involved. I saw the documentary on him. And you know what they were doing was just horrific.
Oh yeah.
But I mean that was 13 years after I took that flight, and everybody. I have to say that. Well, I knew. I mean, I saw Harvey Weinstein. Bill Cosby came to my house.
What was he like?
Go ahead and put it all out there.
And O.J.
Sexually
Simpson came.
perverse. That's the other bad thing that he's like. I'm like, oh yeah, no, trust me, bro. I've had all kinds of relations with sexual deviants. Trust me, man. I know. And at that point, I didn't know. Probably knew about these guys. Pretty knew about them. I wasn't gonna leave my wife alone with Bill Cosby. Boy, it's certainly not a cocktail nearby for sure. You know, might have to. You know, just comes back to me naked and bleeding. But I didn't ask any questions. No.
He's like, all my friends were fucking sex pests. What do you mean? Not really helping
Polanski. Next, they're gonna come out and say it's inappropriate to hang out with Woody Allen. Like, what are you talking about?
A great artist.
Great art. That was disappointing. Noam Chomsky.
Wow.
Cape-a-lot.
Yeah.
But nobody knew that they were, you know, rapists
Monsters.
and killers.
Yes, they
Yeah.
did.
They were just well-known people. And, you know, if you're living in New York.
Well, I need to hang out at your house so I can meet some interesting people.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, you know, my
Got him.
people came to my mom's house when, you know,
Yeah.
so, but you don't know who these people are until they get arrested.
Until you find out who
Your
they
team
really
tells us
are.
that you got to go, sir.
Bobby,
Yeah,
tell people where they can
He's like, they're saying you got to go. You start talking about Epstein. They're like, we got to get him the fuck out of here. Oh, you're muted, dude.
He's brought up his connection to Bill Cosby. Excuse me, guys. We're flying very close to the sun. We're going to call a code. Icarus. Yes, excuse me. Yes, I'm sorry, guys. We've got to get him out of here. Excuse me. I'm sorry about that. Yes, it's a tight schedule. It's funny though. Last time, a lot of people were bitching about like, oh, it's a podcast. Like, you know, Krystal just said that we're out of time for no reason. They could have gone on for hours. Like that was what Kim Iverson was bitching about on Twitter afterwards. And it's like, apparently he's actually a presidential candidate and he does have hard out. So there you go. A little more evidence. This time him getting out of the hot water. A master class in fucking interviewing, excoriating, debating, if you want to even call it that. He had no answers for her. Absolutely wonderful. And I thought that Saagar also did a great job in that. Seriously, one of the best BP interviews I've seen probably ever. That was seriously awesome. They were both on the top of their game.